So what do we have now? We have nano repair and portable shield. Kind of not all that great. Acid blast, maybe, but I'm kind of just relying on the hackers. My plan, I think, was just to sell out of the phoenixes. Anything that my opponent does in the air, I should be able to counter it with the fangs. I am always leveling these mustangs here, which I probably shouldn't be doing, but it's level 1 units anyway, so not really all that useful. I do take the shield, probably just for a pack of fangs, to give them some extra HP. And these fangs are starting to hit scary amounts of levels. Fire is back out, but at the same time my units aren't really moving all that much. You can see that these fangs are already in range of something to shoot, and that's not gonna change with the steel balls pushing up. So kinda until the end of the round, this doesn't really do all that much, I think. And he can't drop it directly on me because the hackers have shields, and he's not gonna break that from afar. Yeah, the hacker spam continues. At this point, this is hitting unbearably scary levels. One of the phoenixes had gotten sold, so no more stealing kills. And when the shields stack like this, I think you definitely need like melters or double shot scorpions to kill these shields in an effective manner. Alright. I still have that shield device, and I put it on these fangs here. Makes sense, they are under the most fire. Speaking of fire, a lot of fire here. Probably going to chew up a bunch of units. As my fangs get shot up, the hacker kind of naturally stays behind, and once the hacker has gotten some targets, it's looking a lot better. Shields are down. Once again, the Typhoon gets hacked, and it's capable of dealing with all of these Mustangs, or at least most of them. Meanwhile, on the front line, it didn't pay attention to this. Well, a lot of units died, but that was not really until the end of the fight. And some of my hackers even have shield. You can see that the incendiary did damage through the shields, because this hacker, as well as this one, and this one probably too, yeah, they have some health damage, even though they were mostly under a shield. But of course, the incendiary doesn't care about that. And it's just going from bad to worse. Unit drops. Overlords will probably get munched down by the fangs. Fortresses, the same. Marksmen, kinda not it either. Tarantulas will get hacked and then you die. My opponent has apparently chosen the fortress. I can see why. Meanwhile, I chose the tarantulas. Probably just for some late chaff generation and chaff clearing. Oh no, I'm putting them in the flank. Or at least one of them. And the other one is here to clean chaff. My opponent dropped shields on fortresses, dropped an additional fortress. I decide to mass upgrade my hackers, and this is looking stellar for me. There isn't anything on the front that can be replicated upon. I don't have fangs on the front line. My fangs aren't moving forward so that they would go into fire. He's finally put splash, and he also has range on the Mustangs, but he doesn't have the shield break to really do this. I guess he's relying on the steel balls. But he simply has so many hackable units here. That spider is going to probably spawn in. Well, then again, this is level 3 Mustangs. We'll see what happens here in a moment. Let's just continue here. I just drop an additional pack of fangs to round out that side. I still have not committed or done anything against this. And once again, these Mustangs are just cleaning up, but they're also delayed for a good amount of time. Shield does come in. Range on the steel balls also pretty great, but the hackers kinda just nullify them in a moment. The fangs kill everything that is small, damage everything that is big. The fortress here got hacked and buys me a lot of time. But this flank is kinda still iffy, like a bit more, and it could have gotten broken through quickly, or at least a bit more quickly. The fangs also have ignite against any potential big thing that can come in, and as you can see, it's just an absolute landslide. As my opponent's Farseer kills its tower and a lot of the Mustangs. I think after this match, my opponent called my unit composition disgusting or something like that. And I can definitely understand why, but hey, you are the one in round 3 or round 4 getting 2 units of chaff in the front. So what do you expect? Anyway, I'm scared, but I'm gonna have to turn this one around and see if there still is a way for my opponent to win, because I'm not seeing it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. So this flank kinda was almost broken through. I think if we just make this hold out for longer, we stand a chance. What text do we have? Kinda not feeling it. Kinda not feeling it. Let's promote all of these. I think that is a good move. And I think the Farseer just plain has to go. We need money. I think we take this and we take this. And then we drop 2 more elite fortresses. And do we just push in on one side and hope to win it? Like, I can put forts here. I can put another fort here. And more fort here. And just hope that we can break through with a lot of shields being stacked. I should be getting a mobile beacon here. And just push in on that tower. Let's see how good that works, because I think we need shields and shield break. And fortresses are it in both cases here. If we can get a tower quickly, we can move in and kill my army here. But the question is it already too late? Well, we are kinda making it work. Right now, at least. There isn't many hackable things left here that are reasonably hackable. And most of these have already gotten killed. I don't have Splash, but I also can't really afford it. Interestingly, when something goes through a shield, it seems that the Hacker Beam actually resets as well. I didn't know that, but I think it might not be enough. Well, no, it is enough. Woo! Okay, I was very scared of this. It turns out that my strategy was actually pretty easy to break through in the first attempt. I mean, in part it is because there was fortresses offered, so my opponent did have the right strategy. He just didn't commit hard enough into this. I think this is about the only way that I can really imagine how to do this. I need a tower debuff here, otherwise this army is just gone. He had the right instincts. He went into Mustangs, and he ranged them so they can compete with my units. And in the end, he also went for fortresses, but the lack of chaff really hurt him. I think if there is no fortress drop this round, it gets a whole lot more difficult. Maybe you can sell something big and still get 3 blue forts, but multiple times the forts were barely not getting hacked because they were still in the shields. Also, it's really interesting to see that when a fort gets covered again by, like when a unit gets covered again by a shield, as it is being hacked, the hack actually resets. It doesn't stay, it does reset. And I think that was all that was keeping this sport here from making it. In the next round, he's probably still gonna be up very, very hard here, because I can drop a bunch of like scorpions or something like that with double shot, and they are going to tear a hole into these fortresses. Well, we will see. Some of these forts would have leveled, so maybe it's, well, one of those forts would have leveled, the others not. Well, I don't particularly care. I didn't expect to get broken this easily, but at the end of the day, the flank and the fortresses at the line were enough, and I'm happy that I got this done very quickly. So if you're ever struggling with a build like this, consider this literally an angle. So, thanks everybody for watching and listening, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then.